guys, it's Courtney. So as some of you may know, I am currently in Florida and we're staying in a rental house like we always do, and it's got me thinking a lot about another rental house we stayed in the past, and I decided to do a little story time. If you watched my 2016 recap video, you might have seen that I won first place for my college's literary journal's nonfiction category, and that piece that I wrote was actually about this story that I'm about to tell you guys. So I guess people like to hear it and I like to tell it, so you guys enjoy and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, so like I mentioned, my family usually stays in vacation houses when we come to Florida for vacation in the winter. We usually try and find something that's kind of close to the ocean or on the ocean. Me and my dad like to fish a lot, so we usually try and find something with some good fishing nearby. So it was 2013, I believe, and we were looking for a house to stay in for the coming winter, and we happened upon this huge mansion. So the listing for it said that it had, like 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, like 7,000 square feet, an indoor pool, indoor hot tub. But we decided just for the heck of it to look and see how much it would cost, and it only was like $5,000 a month, which $5,000 is a lot of money. But for rental houses in Florida, especially when they're right on the beach, it's like actually not a lot of money at all, especially for how nice it was with the pool and the bedrooms and the everything. So of course we decided to see if we could book it, so we emailed them and they were like, yeah, it's open, definitely book it, whatever. So we booked the house. We were super excited but also super skeptical, because if you've only seen a house on a computer, you don't know like what it looks like in person. Like, is it going to be a dump? Are the pictures that they showed us, are they fake? Like, there's just so many things running through our head because it just seems too good to be true. So when we got there, it looked exactly like it did in the pictures, gigantic like mansion right on the ocean. And we went in and it was just like super nice, like a luxury house, like the nicest house I've ever stepped foot in. And we were like, is someone playing a prank on us? But we decided to make ourselves comfortable and enjoy the house. So the first night in the house, I felt very odd. It could have something to do with the fact that the night before I had decided to pull an all-nighter because our plane left really early, but it felt like something else. I just had this very bad feeling deep inside of me, and I am not a person that believes in ghosts or anything like that, but something made me feel super odd in that house, and I was just like so confused, but I decided maybe I just needed sleep. But yeah, I just had this terrible feeling. The next morning when I woke up, I felt better and I was really excited to explore the house and explore the area and go to the beach and everything, so it was all good. But then we started noticing some weird things happening in the house. It started with when we would leave the house, we would turn the TV off, and when we would get back, it would be on. Not only would it just be on, but it would be like showing just static, like that white noise and just the static on the screen that you always see in like scary movies. So it would be kind of odd when we'd be expecting to get back to an empty, quiet house and we'd walk in and we'd hear like white noise blaring. So that was a little bit odd. We would occasionally like hear like weird noises in the house, and it was just me and my mom and my dad, so I don't know what it was. And we were still confused in the back of our head as to why this house was so much cheaper than a bunch of other houses that were way smaller, not on the beach, not near as nice. It was just all kind of weird. And then a couple of my friends came to visit. So we're watching this movie alone in the house, just the 3 of us. My parents aren't there, nobody is there, and out of nowhere a door slams. We're freaking out because there's nobody in the house, there's no pets in the house, there's no windows open, there's no reason there should have been any wind shutting any doors, and we're all like scared to go check it out and see what happened. Like, I was playing it up a little bit because I love scary movies, I love horror of all type, but they don't, so I was kind of like, guys, what is it, because they were scared. But then when that happened, like, I got a little bit scared because I had no idea like how a door could have slammed out of nowhere. So I went to check it out, there was nothing there. Again, I'm pretty tough. I was just like, guys, it's fine, don't worry about it, like, it's nothing. And they're like, but what if this house is haunted? And I'm like, why would the house be haunted? There's no reason the house would be haunted. And then the next day happened. And so we were out on the lawn of the house and a car drives by and these guys yell out the window, somebody died in that house. So that was something. So we thought maybe they were just, punks trying to scare us. So we did a little research. Somebody died in that house. But not just one somebody. Not just 2 somebodies. 3 somebodies died in that house. but I'll get to that a little bit later. So the only thing I was able to find at first was two separate car accidents, which is kind of odd, but apparently the turn right before you get to the house is kind of unexpected. So people have went right through the stop sign and crashed into like a tree at the house. So somebody had crashed into the tree and died in the lawn, and then miraculously somebody else crashed into the tree and died in that lawn. But I mean, like, car accidents happen. Like, every time you're on the highway, you're driving by a bunch of places where car accidents have happened, so it's not like the craziest thing in the world. But I still had this really bad feeling, and I was convinced that something else had happened besides those car accidents. So I did some online research. I searched for hours and hours and hours trying to figure out what might have happened in this house. And I finally found an article online about a death that had taken place in a house in that town. So of course, what are the chances that it would be in that exact house? I was reaching a little bit, but I decided to look into it. So the story was this man named Joseph Black came into a bunch of money from a settlement that he had received from some medicine that had had a bad effect on him. And he bought this luxury home with the money that he had received, became a drug addict, and died in the house. So I still don't know that this is the house we're staying in. It could be any house in that town. But anyway, so he died and he lived alone. He didn't have very many friends or family. So his body stayed in the house for over a week, rotting until they found it. Stuff. So that was crazy. Just knowing that that happened in the town that we were staying in was crazy, because it was a pretty small town and it was a very quiet town that you wouldn't imagine stuff like that happening. So the name Joseph Black was on our mind a lot. We were just thinking about it, like wondering if it could have possibly happened in the house we were staying in. And then we went to the rental company that we were renting the house from. We were going to extend our stay because we'd been there for about a month and we were having a good time, so we decided to stay for another week. So we asked the woman at the rental place, has there ever been like anything odd that's happened in that house, like any deaths or anything like that? And she's like,
deaths? No deaths or nothing like that.
We're like, that seems trustworthy. So then she pulls out the file for the house that we're staying in so she can get us a rental agreement, and she pulls out the piece of paper with all the history on the house along with the original owner's name. Joseph freaking Black. It was his house. It was our house. The house we were staying in. Literally, I kid you not, the bedroom I was sleeping in was the bedroom where his body rotted for a week. Now, I'm sorry if this seems insensitive, because I'm terribly sorry for the family and everybody who had anything to do with his death. It's very sad, but it's also very morbid and very unfortunate that that is the house and bedroom that I was sleeping in for over a month. So I decided to do a little bit more research on his story and ended up figuring out that there's a lot of speculation and conspiracy around the whole death of people thinking that he was murdered. Because with that big sum of money that he got, he had bought a bunch of priceless paintings, and they were on the wall throughout the house. And when they found him dead, the door of the house had been broken and somebody had broke in and all of the paintings were gone. So basically there's a big theory that like somebody broke in, stole the paintings, and made his death look like an overdose, and it was actually a murder. I don't know if that part is true or not, and I will never know if that part is true or not, but I do know for a fact that Joseph Black died in that house, and I don't believe in ghosts. I never have, but it does seem a bit odd to me that all those weird things were happening in a house that had experienced so much death, so much pain, and I don't know. But it's a pretty good story to tell. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you did, and let me know if you think it'd be cool if I did more story times in the future. I'll see you guys next time.